Thanks for making MTN your choice for news tonight. I'm Tim McGonigal. Well, time is up for the groups trying to collect signatures to get ballot initiatives before Montana voters this year. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian reports on the measures trying to qualify for the November ballot.
On Friday morning, representatives with New Approach Montana brought 4 boxes into the Lewis and Clark County Elections Office. They contain dozens of pages of signatures on petitions to put a pair of marijuana legalization measures on the ballot in November.
We're excited about this part of the process. It's been a long time coming.
Friday was the deadline for initiative supporters to submit their signatures to election officials. New Approach says they turned in about 130,000. 50,000 on a statutory initiative to set up a recreational marijuana system in Montana, and 80,000 on a constitutional amendment to let the state prohibit sales to those under 21. The measures need 25,000 and 50,000 respectively to be certified in order to qualify.
So it's really exciting to see that kind of broad support and just to see the great number of people that support this policy.
The COVID-19 pandemic forced major changes in the campaigns to qualify initiatives this year. New Approach gathered many of its signatures in person, using masks, single-use pens, and other health precautions. MT Cares, a group supporting a renewable energy initiative, asked supporters to print out petitions and mail signatures to the counties. Because of that, they don't have an estimate on the final number of signatures. Organizers say they remain hopeful, but regardless of whether the measure qualifies, they feel they've brought attention to energy issues.
Utilities here must realize that 66 senior citizens pitching in less than $2,000 in their time to gather signatures so their kids and grandkids do not have a future that becomes too hot for them to fix have changed the world here in Montana.
All petition signatures needed to be turned in to county election offices by 5 p.m. Friday. Election administrators will now have 4 weeks to determine whether each signature is from a registered voter in that county and whether the signature matches the one on file. The Montana Secretary of State's office will make its own check later this summer, then certify which measures got enough confirmed signatures to go onto the ballot.
Yeah, we're confident that we've got a good buffer, and so that the verification process will go forward and we'll come out of that on top.
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
In addition to the overall number of signatures, initiatives must also receive a minimum number in at least a third of Montana's legislative districts in order to qualify. Well, new cases of coronavirus have pushed the total number of confirmed cases in the Treasure State to 674. And for the first time, the state has reached the triple-digit mark of active cases. It now stands at 108. This map shows the number of active cases in counties that have had confirmed cases. Bighorn County has the most active at 18, while Custer County has 16. And closer to home, Lewis and Clark County has 6 active cases. Cascade has 3. Also yesterday, Fergus County saw its first 2 cases, a woman in her 60s and a man in his 70s. Those cases are believed to have been contracted by out-of-state travel. As the state slowly reopens, we're seeing a decline in the unemployment rate. Numbers for May declined to 9%. Governor Steve Bullock calls it considerable improvement. According to his office, Montana posted the 3rd fastest payroll employment growth among the states in May and had the 7th lowest unemployment rate in the country. There were roughly 16,700 jobs added in the month, over the month. In fact, that's the most jobs added in any single month since 1976. Despite these large job gains, Montana's May employment estimate remains roughly 44,000 jobs below its pre-pandemic peak. Well, the housing market in Great Falls appears to be rebounding after the coronavirus pandemic, but demand was never the issue. Here's MTN's Matt Holzaffel on the state of real estate.
The housing market in Great Falls is rebounding, but why? During the coronavirus pandemic, there weren't less people looking to buy a house, just less sellers putting their houses on the market. A simple case of supply and demand.
I had interested buyers looking for homes even through the lockdown. What we were lacking during the lockdown was new inventory. I think sellers were apprehensive to put their homes on the market during the lockdown, having people coming through their homes during the COVID scare.
But now, a different story.
I've listed 3 homes and have sold them all within 48 hours in the last 2 weeks.
Aside from health reasons, Opportunity Bank mortgage loan officer Mason Walker thinks something else is contributing to this boom.
With lower interest rates, it increases a lot of people's buying power. So we're seeing a lot of people, upgrade from their first-time home buyers to their second-time home buyers. And with current housing prices where they're at, there's a lot of good equity positions.
A good time to be a seller
We're running out of homes to sell, so it's an excellent time to sell.
and a buyer.
Even though we are seeing that shortage of inventory and we are having some real competitive battles to buy listings, it is still a good time for buyers because the interest rates are just fantastic right now.
Jim says that while the Great Falls housing market often doesn't see the same highs as cities like Bozeman or Missoula, it usually doesn't see the same lows either. In Great Falls, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
The Great Falls Association of Realtors, as well as NeighborWorks Great Falls and the Montana Board of Housing, are all offering resources for anyone looking to buy or sell a home during the coronavirus pandemic. Well, heads up for people parking in downtown Great Falls. The 2-hour time limit will start again on Monday. During coronavirus closures, the city suspended paid parking and parking limits downtown. According to the city, downtown businesses requested the 2-hour time enforcement being reinstated now that most retail shops and restaurants are again open. Parking meters haven't been reinstalled yet, so street parking will still be free for a while longer. We have more about the process of reinstalling the meters on our website. Well, the City of Great Falls has amended its annual action plan to include a portion of funds specifically reserved for coronavirus-related purposes, and the city wants you to tell them how those funds should be used. Today marks the beginning of a 5-day public comment period that allows the community to express how they wish to see those coronavirus relief funds allocated within their city. Respondents can request that funds be directed towards a specific purpose, like unemployment relief or child care. City Commissioner Mary Moe explained why public comment is critical to ensuring the funds are allocated according to the public's needs.
There is a designated amount of $475,000 that we should get. The importance of the public feedback is that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And if there's a particular area or a particular business interest that you feel these funds really should go to, we distribute those funds based on what we hear from the public.
If you'd like your comment reviewed, again, you have until June 23rd. We have contact information on our website. Well, tomorrow marks the first day of summer, so will our weather feel like it? Let's turn to Russ Thomas for the answer.
All in all, not a bad way to finish out the work week on Friday. About sunshine early. We still have a little bit of sun out there, but also some clouds have started picking up across much of the state, and a few showers along with that. We've got a lot of instability. We've got a weak wave of energy, which is moving through much of the state, creating those unstable conditions. Now, again, what is happening is some areas continue with that sunshine while others are seeing the rain, and even a couple of lightning strikes pop up. We've seen a little bit of that in western Montana today, and also just off to the east of Great Falls. Now, again, what's going to happen is overnight tonight, we lose the daylight. We start to lose those showers as well. In fact, most areas around the state are going to be mostly clear. As far as our temperatures go for this time of year, certainly cooler than the norm. 67 Great Falls, 61 Lewistown, 69 Havre. We've got 63 in Cutbank. A little warmer areas east. You see low 70s in Glasgow, Jordan, also Miles City. Then to the west, Missoula sitting at 70, Hamilton at 72, Bozeman at 70. We'll have your weekend forecast, including the first day of summer and Father's Day coming up.
All right, thanks, Russ. Well, today is June 19th, also known as Juneteenth. It marks the end of slavery in the United States. MTN's Sam Hoyle takes a closer look at the role this unofficial holiday and African Americans play in Montana's history.
June 19, 1865 marked the emancipation of the final remaining slaves in the Confederate States. And though June 19th is a culmination of celebrations, Kate Hampton, Montana Historical Society Community Preservation Coordinator, said the holiday holds its roots across a variety of dates on the calendar.
Not only always held on Juneteenth, often instead in August, September, or April to celebrate different emancipation official announcement dates across the country and the world. They served as venues for community pride.
Hampton is one of the lead coordinators for the Montana Historical Society's African American Heritage Resources Project, a project that takes a look at the impact that Black and African American history has in Montana.
Since 2006, the Historical Societies put together an African American Heritage Resources Project. And we've worked together to gather primary and secondary source material relating to the Black experience in the state. So we have everything from timelines and essays to oral histories, census research, place documentation. We've been working with the Park Service for National Register listing.
While Juneteenth is a day to celebrate in Montana and across the country, Hampton did say it can also be used as a time to reflect and educate yourself.
It's a reminder that the history of the United States is much more than what we've been taught in our schools, in our history books. And Juneteenth provides an opportunity to relate African American history, a history that's so important to understanding and supporting the Black community, especially now.
In Helena, Sam Hoyle, MTN News.
Well, a lack of pro baseball in Montana isn't just impacting fans, it's impacting families. That story when the news continues.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. The Great Falls Voyagers were supposed to be opening the season tonight in Billings, but with COVID-19 bringing much of the sports world to a halt, there likely won't be minor league baseball in 2020. And as MTN's Tom Wiley shows us, that means it's the end of an annual tradition for one Great Falls couple.
If these walls could talk, boy, the stories they'd tell.
Players, athletic trainers, pitching coach, hitting coach, and the last 3 summers we'd had the manager live with us. So we've pretty much gone the gamut.
For 37 years, Lynn and Terry Williamson have served as a host family for minor league players in Great Falls.
A lot of people wonder how we can have our privacy invaded and all of that, and we don't look at it that way at all. It's, we open our hearts and our homes to these young guys, and for many of them, it's their first time away from home.
2020 would have been year 38, but sadly, with no season in sight, their house will be much quieter this summer.
Bad deal. It's going to be missed. So.
It's just very heartbreaking to think that it is not going to be here. In 2017, we had to miss a lot of games because of Terry's health issues, and at least we could listen to those games. But this summer, there's just no baseball.
The Williamsons have 2 grown children who have long since moved out, so they consider the ball players their summer children, and just like their own kids, they keep pictures on the fridge.
A pretty special feeling to know that we've had an impact on their life in some way.
But they might be done adding pictures and filling albums. The professional baseball agreement between the major and minor leagues expires in September, and though talks have stalled since the pandemic began, the signs are not good.
It has been our whole life for many years in the summer. It's not right.
No one can grasp what the future holds for pro baseball in Great Falls, but the Williamsons can still hold tightly to the memories made over 38 years.
It's just the rewards in just the friendship through the years, and it's just an unending legacy.
Tom Wiley, MTN News.
Now, the Williamsons still keep in touch with hundreds of players who have since gone on to get married and have children. And at last check, they had over 40 baseball grandkids.
It's been a nice afternoon in Great Falls. Starting to see a few showers pick up across the region. Will we see those showers continue into the weekend? I'll have more on that after the break.
Takes now. Here's your STORMTracker weather forecast with meteorologist Russ Thomas.
Welcome back. I hope you had a nice Friday today, the last full day of spring of 2020. Tomorrow we enter summer, and it feels like it's taken a little while to get here, so looks like it's going to be a pretty decent day, and of course looking forward to what is ahead for our summer. We're starting off looking over Great Falls. As you can see, we do have nice conditions out there. Clouds building up this afternoon. We've seen a few showers around the region, even a couple of lightning strikes out there. The potential is there for about the next 2 to 3 hours to see maybe a couple lightning strikes strikes and a few rain showers. Then once we lose that daylight heating, and our sky should clear out very quickly, heading toward a nice evening and overnight. As we move into Helena, same thing. We're seeing a nice afternoon. Again, we have seen some spotty shower activity. Certainly nothing overly impressive. A few areas getting rain, others avoiding it completely and getting that sunshine. And again, Helena will clear out this evening as well. Satellite and radar image. Again, you can see what's happened here over the last several hours. We started out the day mostly clear. We've seen a good deal of sunshine around the state, and then we get that daytime heating, more instability. Of course, temperatures warm out there. We got the cold air aloft, and that creates those showers, especially we have a short wave moving through, that piece of energy moving through the state right now. That's what helps those showers develop as well, and that's exactly what we have. We've seen showers around Lewistown, Havre, Great Falls, even a couple just north and east of Helena, spreading down through Billings and Bozeman. So again, not everybody getting hit. It is hit and miss, but there's some areas that certainly have seen pockets of moderate to heavy rain persisting for just a very short time. And again, we'll continue to see that here over the next 2 to 3 hours before our sky begins to clear out around the state. Most of these numbers, in fact, just about all of them, are below normal for this time of year. Now, this weekend numbers going to be fairly similar. Next week, we'll see a nice little jump in many areas with a lot of spots back up in the 80s, but we're expecting generally 70s for the weekend. Future track, what we've got is overnight, again, we're going to clear out. For tomorrow, I think, again, we're going to get sunshine, a little more sun today persisting into the afternoon hours. We can't rule out a shower. We're going to go about a 20 to 30% chance in most areas, but the showers aren't going to be as numerous tomorrow as today. So for our first day of summer, we should be in pretty good shape. Our temperatures pretty similar to today. I do think there'll be a few degrees warmer in many areas just because we will have a little more sunshine later into the afternoon hours. As far as those temperatures go, 76 degrees in Great Falls tomorrow. Again, cannot rule out an isolated shower, but for the most part, we're going to stay dry. Increasing clouds in Helena, 75. Havre, good looking day, mostly sunny, 78. And then Lewistown right about 73. Beautiful sunny sky. So again, around the region, generally speaking, a little drier tomorrow. Looking ahead into your Sunday, Father's Day, many wanting to celebrate outdoors, maybe that cookout. I think we should be in pretty good shape to do that. Can't rule out again a shower, but for the most part, most areas are going to remain dry. We're going to go with a few showers and a high of 74, but we'll get the sun in there as well. For Monday, nice day. Partly cloudy, 76. We mentioned those 80s. We're going to jump in there Tuesday, sunny, 83 degrees. Wednesday, 84 degrees. Then we'll see isolated opportunities for thunderstorms later next week. Thursday and Friday, 81 and 78. All in all, not a bad forecast. Again, a few showers this weekend and then late next week. Otherwise, sunshine for Helena, 75, increasing clouds tomorrow. Father's Day is going to bring a chance of showers, but again, we'll get that sunshine, 73, 77 Monday, 83 and 85 with sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday.
From making a splash to planting a garden, there's plenty for kids to do this summer. Details are coming up next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. Well, warmer weather is a welcoming sign, especially for the Last Chance Splash Park, set to reopen Monday, June 22nd. MTN's Alexia Aguayo spoke with them to discuss any changes and what customers can expect.
Children jump in water for training and in excitement as Last Chance Splash is set to reopen their doors on June 22nd, but not without certain changes, says the Recreation Program Manager.
The pool is such a fun place for families and the community and people to be in the summertime, and it will continue to be that way, just with some modifications.
The lazy river and the splash deck will be closed until Phase 3.
Under Phase 2, there is a capacity limit of 50 for how many can be in the facility at one time. So, Last Chance Splash said patrons can wait at Memorial Park for your turn in the water.
We're just suggesting to people that if they could come in their swimsuits, go through the shower and come out on deck, it would help keep that social distancing within the locker rooms, and it won't get too congested.
The slides, zero depth pool, and the catch pool will also remain closed until Phase 3. As far as classes, morning swim lessons are back on, while evening swim lessons will not be available to keep occupancy low. Water aerobics, water polo, and other recreation swim activities will be available. In all, Kate is excited to welcome everyone back.
I think everyone understands that it's a complicated time to navigate how to run a facility like this, but people are just excited to be outside, excited to come back to this place, and we're excited to have them.
In Helena, I'm Alexi Aguayo, MTM News.
Well, even during the pandemic, summer camps are happening. The Children's Museum of Montana has a number of different camps for kids to participate in. One of those is Growing Gardeners, where kids spend a week learning about plants, insects, and weather through their STEAM education-based activities. The executive director at the museum says due to COVID-19, registration numbers have fallen somewhat short.
I really think it's a COVID thing, and we've went through the research. We've done everything that we could possibly do to have best practices. So I hope that although the museum seems too large to sanitize, it's not.
And we have a full list of the museum's summer camp opportunities on our website. We'll be right back after this. Well, finally, from herding to hunting, a new Discovery series called Dino Hunters kicks off tonight. It highlights a group of ranchers who were finding new ways to make a living, and one of those ranchers lives in Montana. Clayton Phipps was born into cattle ranching. Phipps discovered that the land his family owned had a lot to offer when he found his first dinosaur fossil in 2003. Dino Hunters premieres tonight. Check your local listings and then check back with us tonight at 10. We'll see you then.